welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing another awesome modification of the Superduty. I'm going to be putting in this Putco Ford LED front emblem on the front of the truck. I'm going to start this video off by saying I'm not sponsored by the company at all. Would have been nice if they sent me one out for free, but you know, that's fine. Still think it's a pretty awesome product. Of course, we'll see how everything goes, but if you want to get one of these for your truck, go on their website, enter your year, make, and model, and whether you have that forward-facing camera or not. These are not generic. You got to make sure that this matches your year, and you also have to enter the information whether or not you have that forward-facing camera, because they do make these that integrate with that forward-facing camera, which is real nice. I got the XL truck, no fancy cameras, any of that stuff, so I didn't have to worry about that. First thing I want to talk about is the craftsmanship of this logo. Now, looking at it on the website, I was a little bit concerned that it was going to be, you know, just a cheap piece of crap plastic. But I got to tell you, it's heftier than I thought it'd be, which to me seems like it's pretty well made. The craftsmanship on the front of the logo is perfect. I don't see any dents or scratches. The back, I mean, it's just a plastic casting, nothing special. Looks like you have these brass nuts for the bolts that are going to secure it in the back. At least they look brass to me, maybe brass coated, I don't know. But the craftsmanship of this looks pretty darn good. I think it's a little bit overpriced, you know, bought this a little over $200, but if it's gonna make the front of my truck look like a Mercedes, I mean. Next I wanna talk about the packaging, because packaging, it matters, right? So the emblem came in this white envelope, and then it came inside a rather large cardboard box. Now there wasn't a lot of material to prevent this from shifting around, bouncing around inside that box. So Putco, if you're listening, please step up your packaging, maybe ship it in a smaller box or just increase the amount of cushioning inside that box. So what else do you get with this? You get this wiring harness, which this is basically a fuse tap. I'm not going to use the fuse tap, I don't like fuse taps. You also get a set of generic instruction manual, or well, a generic set of instructions rather. You know, I'm kind of disappointed they didn't send any stickers out with this. You know, it seems kind of trivial, but I would really like a couple stickers if I'm spending over $200 on a aftermarket part, right? Something put up on the toolbox, but whatever. So now let's talk about the actual installation process. So I'm gonna insert some information from the previous video I did in which I installed these Morimoto XB headlights. So I'm gonna take some information from that video. I'm gonna teach you how to remove the front grille, and I'm gonna show you where I tapped into the wiring, which I did not use a fuse tap. I actually used the pre-wiring for the PTO underneath the upfitter switch, which I don't know if that's going to be on every Super Duty, but I'm going to show you how I wired mine. And after I go through that process, then I'll meet back with you once I have the grill off and we're ready to pop out the old logo and we'll install this new one. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is remove this protective shroud, and in order to remove this, we need to remove 14 of these plastic pop rivet pins. The easiest way to remove these is to get a trim removal tool like this, go in between the top and the bottom. As you can see, they separate, and then you come back in from the bottom, and then these pop right out. So again, there's 14 of these, and it's important to note that there are different sizes. There are these larger ones, but there's also some of these smaller ones, so just keep track of where each one goes. So 14, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now we need to remove the front grille, and the first thing we're going to remove is 6 10mm bolts on the top of the grille. Next thing we need to remove, so on this grille there is a stud that goes through the headlight housing. So if you take a 1/4-inch drive, you don't need an extension socket, but there's a 10mm nut attached to this stud, so we're going to need to remove this on both sides. Next, we need to remove 2 10mm bolts on either side of the grille down by the lower inner corner of the headlight. Now, in order to get to that 10mm bolt, we need to pop off this plastic cover. Yeah, you're going to have to use a pick or something of that sort. Which I don't think I really did any damage here. See, like with a pick, I could sneak underneath this and continue to pull it out. Yeah, and now it pops out. So I think a pick, 45-degree pick, is gonna have to be the tool for this job. Alright, now we need to start prying the grill off. But you want to do this carefully. This is the part of the job that has me the most nervous because I really don't want to break these clips. According to the instructions, what we're supposed to do, take a plastic pry bar, something like this, and we're supposed to start at this upper corner and carefully pry this off the truck. And I heard it pop a little bit, so I think we have that release. Now the instructions say to come in down underneath the headlight here and try and pry this section out. I really don't want to use the headlight as leverage. There we go. Okay, so I think I have that released. I'm going to repeat the process on the other side. Okay, so we're almost there. Now there are 4 metal clips on the bottom side of this grill that we need to remove. And how we remove those is we actually need to get our hands down in between the grill and the main body of the truck. So I'm going to put the camera here and show you exactly what you need to do and what you need to pull at. So what you're going to need to do, you're going to need to take a flathead screwdriver. And if you take a look at this tab right here, well, there's metal tabs right here. And what you do, take this flathead screwdriver, you'll see the little metal tab. See how that kind of separates? So we're going to push down on that metal tab, also pull out a little bit. And now that one's started, so I'm going to move my hand over and repeat the process on the second one on the right side of the truck. I'm going to come down here, push down on this metal tab. You see how that released? I'm going to pull this grill back a little bit. Almost lost the camera there, but I wanted to make sure that I got this shot for you guys. And you can see that that is completely separated on the bottom. So now we're going to repeat the process on the other side. Take it out. It's a little bit heavy, but I can do it with one hand. Now, with my truck, you know, I have the peasant truck. This is just a very basic XL. Well, technically it's STX trim, I guess, so it has the chrome appearance package and whatever. But if you have a higher level trim on your truck, you may have a forward-facing camera and that front wash, whatever that is. So if you do have that, you are going to need to disconnect that, which just make sure you follow the instructions, but at least I got you like 95% of the way here. You know, you have a fuse tap in here. This thing is sticking above where the normal fuse would be. Not to mention, you know, who knows if it's going to have some awkward strain on it. And additionally, you're going to have to run this wire in between the protective water-resistant cap on top of the fuse box and the fuse box body itself. Now, I've seen some other guys online make modifications to this box. I'm not doing that. I am absolutely not doing that. I think this is a really poor way to go about doing this. Now, for me, fortunately, I have the diesel, and I'm going to show you what I discovered and what I think you should use. I'm not sure if this is going to be possible on the gas trucks, the 6.2 and the 7.3 gas trucks, but you may have that option if you have the pre-wiring for a PTO system. I lifted up the upfitter box by pressing down on these 2 tabs, and underneath the upfitter box, sorry, I got a little bit of a shaky hand, but this is good information. You'll find all these wires. Now there's more than just the 6 wires for the upfitter switches. If you pay attention to this label right here, you have a brown wire, right? Brown, and that is a run start out. So I took my handy dandy power probe and I went onto that solid brown wire with my helper. And when my helper turned on the key, I got power to that run start line. So as opposed to running a jerry-rigged power tap into a really important fuse, I'm going to tap into that run start line from the power takeoff wiring that is otherwise not being used. Because I plan to install the Putco Ford LED emblem, the illuminated emblem on the front of the truck. And I just watched the instructions for that, and that also says to tap in one of the fuses in the fuse box. So I figured I might as well just kill 2 birds with 1 stone and install the wiring now. So again, this taps into that brown wire, which is the run start wire off the PTO harness underneath the upfitter switch box. So that's going to be tied right into here. So that's going to provide power for my left headlight, the right headlight, as well as the front Ford emblem. Something else I'm going to be doing is installing a ground wire right next to this power wire, and that ground wire is going to backfeed along this harness with the 12-volt power supply, and I'm probably going to tie it into this ground spot right there. So the wiring is going to be pre-run for the Putco Ford LED emblem, and that's just going to be one less thing that I have to worry about in the future. I tried to get a ground here with my power probe, and I could not get a ground here, so as I specified earlier, I ran a remote ground down in here. So for my emblem, what I need to do now is there are 2 studs that need to be installed on the back side of this LED emblem. Now if you take a look at the stud, you notice that there's a smooth part and a short piece of thread. Well, that's going to go on the light side. I'm also going to take a little bit of Loctite just to ensure that these studs never come undone. Now that those 2 studs are installed on the back side of the emblem, and because I'm not going to be using their fuse tap wire harness, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off these tails right here, and I'm going to keep these blue quick connects. In case I ever need to remove the grill, then I don't have to cut any wiring. I could just disconnect these quick connects. Alright, so I'll show you how I wire this up. When it comes to automotive wiring, these are probably one of my favorite things to use. These are low temperature, heat shrink, solder connectors. So basically this does 2 things in one. For one, there's a little bit of low temperature solder in there, so when you have 2 wires overlapping one another or twist them together inside this connector, this connector, and you apply some low temperature heat to this, the solder will melt and you'll have a really strong connection. And the second thing it does is you have this heat shrink tube, and you see the blue? Well, that's glue on either side. So as this shrinks, the glue seals up this connection and it prevents any water from getting inside that connection. Now in order to strip the wires, this is one of my favorite tools. This is an automatic wire stripper, so I'll probably strip off maybe a ½ inch, something like that. So we'll do that with all our connectors, or well, all our wires rather. From here, I take all the wires, give them a little bit of twist. Take our low temperature heat shrink solder connectors, slide one on each wire. And here's what I like to do. So I have my black and my black wires. I like to take these 2 wires and twist them together. Just wrap these around one another. Then I'll take that low temperature solder connector, slide it right over those twisted wires, and now that is ready for heat. I'll do the same thing on the red wire. Now, one of the reasons I don't like to use that torch is sometimes I apply a little bit too much heat, and sometimes I do burn through the heat shrink tube. So another layer of protection that I like to add is by wrapping the connection in high quality electrical tape. What I've learned over the years is you get what you pay for when it comes to electrical tape. You know, that cheap stuff that you buy at Harbor Freight or Amazon, that stuff's crap. Get yourself some good quality Scotch tape, 3M. Trust me, makes a big difference. Maybe not in the short term, but in the long term, big difference. Alright, it's up to you if you want to leave your wires like this, but who wants to see that red wire when you're looking through the grill? So what I like to do whenever I'm working with automotive wires, I always like to encase everything in split wire loom. This stuff's fairly cheap. It looks professional, and you just really help to protect those wires. Now, I really should have staggered those 2 connections, but it's going to be just fine. I'll just wrap it up with a little bit more electrical tape, and then we're going to finish installing that emblem on the grill. Alright, now it's time to install the emblem on our grill, so make sure that you have the grill in the right orientation. I know this is up So I'm gonna install the Ford logo on this, this grill as if this was facing up. I'm gonna shove the wiring harness down in this hole right here. And we're gonna flip it around to the back side, and they've included 2 nuts. So we're just gonna grab on those studs. Logo is centered. All right, now it is finally time for reassembly. Now, before I put this back on the truck, I'm gonna carefully rest this on the lower bumper. I have some dielectric grease, and I'm gonna grease up these connections. I live in the Northeast, in the salt belt, and salt just destroys everything. It ruins electrical connections, so by putting a little bit of dielectric grease in here, I think it's gonna go a long way. And now this is pretty simple. I'm just gonna connect the red wire to the red wire and the black wire to the black wire. All right, that's all connected. And now I'm gonna pop in, oh no, I have this upside down. Don't I feel like a fool? I think we can make it work. Okay, isn't that better? And now we can slowly pop the grill back in, starting with the metal connectors on the bottom. We just gotta make sure that all our tabs are lining up. Okay, I believe everything's snapped in the bottom. Now before I finish popping this back in, I'm just gonna turn the key on and make sure that this lights up properly. Wow, that looks just sick. Absolutely sick. I can't tell you how sick that looks. Did I say it looks sick? Now, I know it looks a lot brighter than the Morimoto XB quad beam LED headlights, and that is partially true. It is brighter right now, but these headlights are in nighttime mode. So when the headlights sense that it's dark out, you know, they automatically come on, but it actually dims the C-rings on either side of the truck. Now, when the truck senses that it's daytime, these lights should be as bright as this, if not brighter. And I'm talking about the C-channel daytime running lights, so this looks cool. And I bet it looked cool when it turned on. Did it do the flashy Ford thing? I couldn't tell, I was turning the key on. All right, so I don't think I'm gonna bore you now with the reinstallation process, because I mean, it's just a matter of putting everything back together, you know, making sure that we snap this grill back in, which I think everything is snapped in. And there are 6 fasteners on the top, 6 bolts on the top. There's 2 nuts, right? One on either side, hidden in the upper right, or the upper inner corners of the headlights. You have that 10 mil down at the lower inner corner of the headlights. Then we just need to put the shroud back on with those 14 pop rivets. Now the smallest of the pop rivets goes up here by the air filter intake. Let me finish that up real quick.